Arsenal vs Tottenham 0-1. Gyokeres Mosquera debuts, set-piece woes, tactical analysis. Arsenal's pre-season tour concluded with a disappointing 0-1 loss to Tottenham Hotspur in the first North London derby to be played outside of England. This match, held in Singapore, was a stark reminder of the work that still needs to be done before the Premier League season begins. Pape Matar Sarr scored the decisive goal just before halftime, taking advantage of a lapse in concentration from Miles Lewis-Skelly. Despite hitting the post twice, Spurs FC banned. Goalkeeper Guglielmo Vicario was rarely tested by the Gunners. However, there were silver linings in the form of debuts for Viktor Gyokeres and Cristhian Mosquera. These two new signings brought a fresh energy to the team, especially Gyokeres, who showed promise in holding up play and distributing the ball. His debut came in the 77th minute, at a time when the match had already settled into a defensive pattern as Tottenham focused on protecting their lead. Gyokeres demonstrated good awareness, laying the ball off to Martin Zubimendi, although the subsequent shot was blocked by a well-organized Spurs defense. Mosquera's versatility was also on display, as he has the ability to play on both sides of the center-back position, a crucial asset given the injuries to key players like Gabriel and Riccardo Calafiori. While Saliba took the starting role, Mosquera's presence as a backup option is invaluable. Defensive set-piece issues, which plagued the team towards the end of the last season, were once again highlighted during this match. Spurs came close to scoring from corners, and there were questions about whether a foul had been committed in the build-up to the goal. While Nicolas Jover, the set-piece coach, continues to innovate, these issues need to be addressed urgently. Arsenal also experimented with a direct approach, playing long passes behind the Spurs defense. But this strategy was marred by offside calls and a lack of precision. However, this tactic could prove beneficial for Gyokeres, who thrives on such opportunities. The match concluded with a controversial moment, as Richarlison appeared to commit foul in the lead-up to the goal. This raises questions about whether referees should be more vigilant in such situations. As the Gunners prepare for their next friendly against Villarreal, it's clear that there are areas that need improvement, particularly in defense and set-piece execution. But with promising debuts and a willingness to experiment, there's still hope for the season ahead. And this is the part most people miss. How will Arteta adapt his tactics to address these issues? Will he stick with the direct approach or return to a more patient style of play? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. What are your thoughts on the match? Do you think the direct approach will work in the Premier League? Should Arteta be more concerned about set-piece defense? Let's discuss. Mikel Merino, fueling Arsenal's season after Tottenham defeat. Imagine losing a match in front of a packed stadium, only to find that this setback could actually propel your team to greater heights. That's exactly what Mikel Merino is suggesting after Arsenal's recent encounter with Tottenham in Hong Kong. In what was the first ever meeting between the two teams outside the UK, Arsenal fell 1-0 at the Kai Tak Sports Park. But Merino sees this as a valuable learning experience rather than a crushing defeat. It's not the result we were hoping for, Merino reflected. Winning is always our top priority, but in pre-season, there are other crucial aspects to focus on, such as getting into shape and maintaining our connection with the fans here in this incredible city. Despite the loss, Merino believes the team showed resilience and adaptability. We quickly adjusted to the pitch and the opponent, and I think we dominated most of the game. While the result is disappointing, we need to focus on the positives. He went on to emphasize the motivational power of this experience. This feeling will serve as the fuel for our upcoming season, driving us to grow, learn, and hopefully achieve even greater success. The match marked the end of Arsenal's 2-week Asia tour, which included 2 victories in Singapore. Merino expressed his gratitude for the overwhelming support from fans throughout the tour. The support has been amazing, and I want to thank the entire fan base. It's not always easy for them to follow us during the season, especially when the timing isn't ideal for them, but their enthusiasm was truly lovely. He also highlighted the broader significance of such tours. It's always exciting to come to these kinds of tours. It's a chance to explore new places and parts of the world, and at the same time, to showcase what Arsenal stands for: the culture, the family spirit we embody in a different country. Overall, it was an amazing experience, and we hope to return soon. But here's where it gets controversial. How do you balance the importance of preseason results with the value of learning and team bonding? Should teams prioritize winning in preseason matches, or is it more crucial to focus on development and fan engagement? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Spurs stun Arsenal 1-0 in thrilling North London derby. Pape Matar Sarr's stunning strike. This was no ordinary preseason clash. This was a renewed battle of North London pride, held for the very first time beyond the borders of the United Kingdom. But here's where it gets controversial. Tottenham Hotspur emerged victorious with a slender 1-0 win over Arsenal in a match that left Gunners fans fuming over an alleged foul in the build-up to the only goal of the game. The venue itself, the Kai Tak Stadium in Hong Kong, made headlines too. It's a brand new $3.9 billion arena that opened in March, and it played host to a record-breaking crowd of 49,975 spectators. Imagine that many people packed in, all eager to see the fabled North London rivals square off. And this is the part most people miss. Preseason or not, the tension and stakes felt as strong as ever. Arsenal, after all, wanted to showcase their strengths on the Asia Tour, while Spurs looked to make a statement under their new head coach, Thomas Frank, the man stepping into Ange Postecoglou's shoes. The pivotal moment came before halftime, courtesy of Spurs midfielder Pape Matar Sarr. He seized on an opportunity from an Arsenal mistake and launched an incredible 45-yard missile that soared in over goalkeeper David Raya. Arsenal insisted that Richarlison had unfairly pressured England defender Miles Lewis-Skelly in the lead-up, effectively fouling him. The Gunners believe the referee should have disallowed the goal as a result, but ultimately, Sarr's wonder strike stood. Arsenal's captain Martin Odegaard and young Lewis-Skelly gave an earful to the fourth official as they headed down the tunnel for the break. Do you think the referee made the right call, or was it indeed a foul? Don't hesitate to share your thoughts. Prior to that goal, it felt like every set piece turned into a nerve-wracking experience for the Gunners. David Raya, who recently joined Arsenal and was still trying to find chemistry with his new teammates, kept finding himself blocked during corners. Tottenham, guided by set-piece specialist Andreas Georgsson, who interestingly once replaced Arsenal's Nicolas Jover at Brentford, clearly had a plan to exploit this vulnerability. They nearly scored on multiple occasions. Spurs struck the post 3 times in the first half. Pedro Porro's delivery earned a deflection that ricocheted off the post. Then Wilson Odegaard's shot skimmed off Ben White before hitting the upright, and another corner moments later rattled the woodwork again. Arsenal had started promisingly, with William Saliba's early header whistling wide in the 4th minute. But after going behind, they struggled to convert possession into goals despite dominating much of the second half. They pinned Spurs back, especially once big signings like Viktor Gyokeres, acquired for a hefty €73 million, and other newcomers like Leandro Trossard and Martin Zubimendi stepped onto the field to spark a comeback. The Gunners also introduced Kai Havertz and Gabriel Martinelli up front, attempting to carve out chances. Yet Tottenham held firm, drawing further on the crowd's energy as the minutes ticked down. Thomas Frank, clearly pleased with his first major achievement at Spurs, showcased his tactical nous by bringing on players like Kevin Danso, Mathis Tel, and Brennan Johnson at just the right moments to disrupt Arsenal's flow. In the final stages, the Spurs faithful got to see fan favorite Son Heung-min make his preseason debut. Arsenal, meanwhile, had an injury scare with Leandro Trossard forced off late on. When the final whistle sounded, Tottenham had clung on to celebrate a notable victory away from London, an extra sweet moment for them, considering the derby's intense rivalry. Arsenal, on the other hand, ended their Asian tour on a sour note, heading back to London empty-handed. While they might argue this is just preseason, fans are left wondering if questionable refereeing decisions or missed chances could be a